Hey, welcome to the Social Space. This is the show all about Wichita Falls, Texas, and the whole wide world. Real quick before we get started, let's thank our partners.
Yes.
We've got KAUZ News Channel 6, 10:35 Sunday nights. They've been doing a really good job at keeping everybody informed about everything that's been going on this week.
Yeah.
News Talk 1290, that's Town Square Media. You can hear these shows, the audio version, 10:30 a.m. on Saturdays. And of course, Impact Signs at Falls Truck Center. Tanya and Sean Choate over there are doing a great job. Just so everybody knows, as we tape this on Thursday the 18th, still have about 150,000 houses without power. We still have people with boil orders, so this might be a little less light of tone of show than we normally do. But that leads us into, you know, there's a lot of people who don't get to even stop working when something like this goes on. Jackie?
You're right. In fact, I think, you know, we kind of have to start by just telling everyone thank you. Don't you think, Andrew?
Absolutely. And you know, yesterday a fire truck came screaming down our street, which we kind of live in a little small neighborhood, you know, and so seeing that truck go by, and then, you know, with 395, that video that we produced, I just can't imagine, you know, where they're going, what they're doing, but they're out trying to save people and make sure everybody's okay. And so we just want to say thank you, you know.
I enjoyed your videos from the hole to even where you were taking everybody on a tour. I thought those were interesting. But a big shout out to the city as well and the mayor. I mean, where generators were needed, they were found and put in, and where pipes have burst so far, especially in healthcare, people showed up to get it back going, which leads us to some things have to happen no matter what. And so I think we're all still in. I've got my snow boots on. You've got your gloves on. Andrew refuses to take his cap off. We're in the office. We're just partially staffed today because we want to keep our staff safe and at home as much as we can. But today we're going to talk to you about you know, those cows have to be milked no matter what. And I'm excited to say that we're going to take you on a journey when the Hoegger Family Farms is most vulnerable. Hoegger Family Farms, that division is owned by my nephew and his bride, Blake and Sarah Jo Hoegger. They've taken this mission to milk about 13 to 15 cows and sell raw milk. Awesome. Now, the majority of the dairies around Windthorst milk 200, 300, 400, 700 cows, and they sell their milk to big companies, and that milk gets trucked off for cheese or whatever. But this little unique special farm with Blake and Sarah Jo and their 2 daughters is just put there to sell raw milk to the public.
Awesome.
So in the 12 inches of snow that Scotland and Windthorst got, I took a trek out there yesterday, and we started with Blake. We're going to show you a little interview of how they're navigating in the snow. Now, if you've been out at Windthorst or Scotland with the rolling blackouts, they were milking 1 hour and down an hour and milking an hour. So I'll give a special shout out to JAC Electric, who've really wrapped those dairy farmers around to kind of keep them up and going. Communication was great, so God bless you, JAC. But let's start with this first interview with Blake. I'm in the milking pit. It's tiny, where they milk those 13 Jersey cows, and why they decided to do this little project. I mean, no one in Windthorst that I know of has ever thought to just stop and tackle the raw milk industry. So, but anyway, I think you'll get a really kick out of listening to Blake and Sarah Jo on why they've decided to tackle this tiny little great piece of milking a small farm right there in Scotland that's accessible to the public. Anybody can come and buy raw milk, touch, feel the cows, get in tune with nature, and bring your family. So I'm interested for you to hear a few words from Blake.
Okay, let's roll it.
You know, to us, this is news. We've experiencing snow apocalypse here in Texas. Today is Wednesday, and we are at Hoegger Family Farms, a very small dairy in Scotland, Texas. And we're here to kind of tell you mostly news. How many inches of snow, Blake?
We're right at 12 inches right now.
12 inches. How do you run a dairy? How do you keep cows safe and in the middle of a blizzard? My gosh.
You know, it's been crazy, quite honestly. We've done weeks of preparation up to this. Me and Sarah Jo have done, you know, for the last 10 days, we did nothing but prep for all of this. So we've got over 60 bales of straw in the barn, bedded down with the cows, and it's just been weeks and weeks of preparation for this. So,
well, you're going to see, we're going to show you a lot of B-roll in a minute where the cows are and all of the snow. But first, Blake, Hoegger Family Farms. It's not a typical dairy.
No.
It's a very tiny, tiny dairy with a different purpose.
Correct.
Tell us about Hoegger Family Farms.
So we are a small family farm, obviously. It's me, Sarah Jo, and our 2 daughters. We are very small compared to most dairies here in the county that are around us. It's a different type of operation. For us, it started out with show cows. You know, we have been very involved in the show community for years, and our daughters showing cows is kind of how this got started. And we had to go somewhere with our milk. So we thought, you know, what was the best option for us? And right now that's to sell raw milk. So we're bringing raw milk to North Texas. It's just a different option of dairy, and just something else to bring to the community.
So are you milking Jersey cows?
Yes, right now we're milking 100% Jerseys. They have a higher butter fat, okay?
Yeah.
So your milk's gonna be a little more golden, a little yellow color. They've got more butter fat, their milk's a little better for us personally, and they're smaller cows, so they eat less, which in turn they poop less. So
And they're kind of dainty, aren't they?
Yes.
So I'm going to pull this out real quick. So we're right where we are right now is inside the barn,
Correct.
which is really tiny. And you guys milk twice a day.
Correct.
And then this goes into an old tank. Tell us about who owns that tank and how old is it?
So that tank was originally installed right here in Windthorst in 1956 to Claude Hoff's mom. Was the original owner of the tank. It's very small. It's quite antiquated for today's type of tanks. You know, it only holds 250 gallons. It's self-contained, which has kind of saved us in this store because there's no outside compressors. This storm and stuff has been crazy with the weather, and it's one thing we don't have to worry about being out in the weather because it's all self-contained here. So.
Now, we're going to get deeper into Hoegger Farms when weather allows, but you know what? To me, it's like news. You know, so many homes are without power, they're without water. You guys are without power and
Correct.
water, but if you're a farmer, you learn to navigate that. We'll get into that in a minute. But you guys milk these 13 cows to sell raw milk.
Correct.
Great. Well, we'll talk to your other half about that in a minute. So stay tuned. We'll get Sarah Jo on again. We are at Hoegger Family Farms in Scotland.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting. You were
And I always say behind every great dairy farmer is a dairy wife. And in this capacity, Sarah Jo's very much a part. Now, Blake works full time here in Wichita Falls, and Sarah Jo is a CPA. That's another thing you'll know about the dairy industry is they usually have a second round of income. I mean, you know, as much as we love the dairy industry, it's hard work.
Yeah.
And
couldn't imagine.
the price of milk goes up and down and expenses are huge. Most families have a second income. But Sarah Jo is very much a part of the farm, and in this interview you're going to get Sarah Jo's perspective, and I'm going to tell you, she is hands-on in the trenches milking those cows every day as well. Now, we're in the lot with the Jersey cows here, and you'll see how tame they are. In fact, notice that they've even got them covered up with some horse blankets to keep them nice and snuggly warm in this apocalyptic snow.
Yeah.
But it'll be great to hear Sarah Jo's perspective.
Okay, let's take a look at that one.
Hey, welcome back to the social space. Now, this is what you call up and personal, right?
Yes.
What's this one's name?
That is Sierra.
Hello, Sierra. Nice to see you.
She's got her jacket on.
She's
nice and warm.
She's nice and toasty
Yes.
in the snow apocalypse. Come on in, sweetheart. You know what, Sarah Jo, I want to ask you, you are the partner of this great farm.
Yes.
Being the wife, tell us in your words why creating Hoegger Farms and selling raw milk was important.
You know, I think it is the best way for us to bring the community back to agriculture. That's important to me. I'm a mom, I have kids. I think kids need to see this. They need to know where their food comes from. And we're in a unique position because of the type of cows that we have, that we can show the community where their milk comes from.
That's pretty cool. Now, this is a very tiny farm. with the purpose of not mass producing, but literally just making milk for people to purchase.
Yes.
So in all of this snow, my goodness, like how many inches did he say?
I think we have a foot.
12 inches
Yes.
of snow. Cows still have to be milked twice a day. Now you guys are without electricity.
Yes.
You are without water.
Yes.
How are you handling that?
We just woke up and we had to handle it because it's not just about us, it's about the cows too.
Yeah.
We're their caretaker and we just can't say sorry and stay in the house. So pretty much we had the idea to plug our heaters into my truck.
Wait a minute, let's say that again. The heaters are plugged into
my truck.
your truck.
Yes. We turned it on, it has a plug in the back and we've been running the barn off my truck.
So are the automatic milkers running off of that too?
No, we are not running it off of that, just off of our heaters.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
So how are you handling the water situation?
Because we could turn on our heaters, we got our water defrosted.
Okay, great. So now we're going to come back out when the weather is beautiful and the grass is green and we can see the cows, but right now it looks like they're having lunch. They're having a bite of hay. So tell us how someone goes about getting a hold of you. How do they follow you and how do they find out about getting milk?
Our Facebook page is where we communicate a lot.
Okay.
And I am here. If you want raw milk, I would love to show you the farm and show you our cows and show you our process and get you some product.
So what a great family excursion to bring the kids out.
Yes,
and
that's
let
my
them.
favorite.
It is?
Yes.
Now you also do these random family photos, don't you? Don't you have one coming up?
Yes, we are doing spring pictures coming up and I am ready for spring right now.
Yeah, no kidding. We're going to show you some B-roll of all of this snow throughout this. But people can book and have a quick photo session on Hoegger Family Farms.
Chickens,
Lambs,
goats, bunnies.
Okay.
I mean, that is the deal. And it's not cows, it's all agriculture. Just come out and see all the animals and have an experience.
All right, so if you are interested in buying raw milk, follow them on Facebook, Hoegger Family Farms. You can communicate with Blake and Sarah Jo there. They'll tell you what the process is. You can come out and touch, feel the cows. I'm cracking up that they have horse blankets so that they're warm and toasty. Now, word on the street is that you have a baby calf on your back porch.
Yes.
You do. And chickens.
And chickens.
Because
they're our babies.
And it's cold.
We got to keep them warm.
There you go, Sarah Jo.
That's awesome.
Go Sarah Jo.
Well, thanks, Jackie, for going out there and conducting those interviews. That's really interesting. We're going to take a commercial break, and we have one little short one to get to, and then we're going to do our third segment after that. So we'll be right back with the social space.
Awesome.
Falls Truck Center has parts and is quickly becoming the go-to provider for big truck parts for every major manufacturer on the highway, including thousands of in-stock OE and quality aftermarket brands. With over 45 years combined experience selling and locating those hard-to-find parts, Joseph and Jack are on standby and ready to assist you with any repair project. Need service too? Falls Truck Center can get you in a bay and back on the road within hours, not days or weeks. Come see us at Falls Truck Center next to Flying J. Call us at 940-64-PARTS.
Welcome back to the Social Space special episode. No guest in studio. Jackie took the show to the guest in Scotland, where the family farm is, and did a great job interviewing all those folks out there. What do we got up next, Jackie?
I know. Now remember, that's Blake and Sarah Jo's farm, Hoegger Family Farms. We were in the snow, 12 inches of snow. But in this last interview, I always say, what is it like to work on a farm as a husband and a wife?
That's got to be challenging.
And let me tell you, if you know Blake and Sarah Jo, they both have great, strong personalities and very determined, and I think they work great as a team. I think you'll get a kick out of listening as to why they're doing this project and what the future holds, you know, what their vision is for Hoegger Family Farms.
Okay,
So.
let it roll.
So a little bit about this tank. Like we said a while ago, this tank was made in 1956. It was originally installed right here in Windthorst, well down the road in Windthorst. We're in Scotland right now. To Claude Hoff's mom, it's a self-contained tank. It only holds about 250 gallons. The compressor and everything is all right here in the barn. Makes it very nice, keeps everything self-contained, and it's real thick. It's a nice tank.
There you go. Hey, I wonder how many, gosh, so many families have been stuck together for these few days. It's got to be tough. People are used to being able to go to work, get away from each other.
Should we call Greg Hoegger and ask him? No, I actually haven't seen a whole lot of him because he leaves at 4 in the morning. And, you know, I think everybody has a role,
Yep.
you know, and my role is to make sure that, you know, Grace and I had dinner for him and hot chili for him and just be there. But actually trying to run Hoegger Communications from the house as well.
Yeah.
Lots of different moving parts, but.
How's it been home with 3 young girls, can barely go outside?
You know, my youngest, Quinn, she goes to every room and flips the light on and off to check to see if, and when we didn't have power, it was like, well, this isn't working either. And then go to the next room. Why isn't this working? And it was just, you know, but it's nice that we're all safe.
Yeah.
Sure,
and,
that's what's important.
You know, we're warm now, we have power, so, but yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a break, and what we're going to do, we played it last week, but gosh, we just felt like we got to play it again this week.
Yeah.
This is the video 395 about the awesome response time and how great our fire department is, who's been working overtime during this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to play that video, and we sure do thank you guys for watching.
Four incredible radio stations. That's who we are. We are Town Square Media, and we bring the best of radio to the North Texas area. Wake up early with News Talk 1290. That's us. How about Kelly Raspberry on 92.9 NIN? Yep, that's us. Bringing you the best of country with 102.3 The Bull. That's us. And rocking it all day long with 106.3 The Buzz. That's us. We are Town Square Media, and we're proud to be a sponsor of the Social Space.
When you lay your head down at night and you've got a business that you've shut the lights out for the night, you want to know that if something happens, you're in a community that is amongst the best. There's a lot of things in homes in particular that insurance doesn't replace. It doesn't replace World War II medals that are hanging in a frame. And so the speed of our response and the weight of our response becomes very important to protect those things. So ISO is an independent organization whose function it is to measure the effectiveness of a community's response to fire. ISO has evaluated more than 39,000 independent fire department jurisdictions across the country, and as of yesterday, there were only 394 fire departments that had achieved an ISO Level 1. We become number 395 in the nation.
This rating tells our citizens that living here is safe.
Right now we have several people wanting to come to town, and they're going to build $100, $200, $300 million facilities. One of the first things they're going to look at is this rating.
Businesses that are looking to locate to communities look at that ISO score because it directly impacts their insurance rates. Damage to customer relationships, damage to the flow of operations, to your business as a going concern. Sometimes those impacts can last years.
The more we're able to share this story with others, the more likely they are to want to do business in Wichita Falls.
We've got a better chance in Wichita Falls of not ever getting to the point where we've lost our facilities due to fire. Wichita Falls, like every city across the country, is subject to a new ISO evaluation every 10 years. They do so by evaluating various aspects within the fire department, our water supply system, and our dispatch center. And when they do the evaluation across literally dozens of those individual components, those scores are added up, and any score above 90 is considered an ISO Class 1. The City of Wichita Falls scored a 95.18.
We keep our families at home and we want to feel safe and understand that we're going to be protected should something happen, that we've got the absolutely best fire protection system, the best fire department, the best firefighters that any community could possibly have.
It was an honor to lead that effort, but that effort was really accomplished because of the effort put in by our crews and that day-to-day coordination and cooperation that exists between the fire department, the water department, and our dispatch center. I think one of the things that's hard sometimes for outsiders to understand is what we refer to as the brotherhood or sisterhood of the fire service and belonging to something that's bigger than us. I believe that, our Creator designed us with a DNA that allows us to run into burning buildings when most people are inclined to run out. So for us, this is a calling.
Copy that. Engine 3 is on the scene and in command.
It's hard to put into words how proud I am of this organization and the support we get from our water department and our dispatch center. Achieving an ISO 1 is one of those things that most fire chiefs won't experience any time in their career. And it's just hard to put in words the value of that. How do you value a better night's sleep when you own a business here and know that it's within a community that has one of the best fire departments in the country?
I'm so proud of just our city and our fire department and the chief for working towards this.
The more people that find out about things like this, the more a positive story gets out there about Wichita Falls, no matter who it's from.
This ISO 1 rating is evidence that we're doing things right.
And I hope the citizens can understand what this ISO 1 rating really means to Wichita Falls. It's not just affecting one business or the other, or one residence or the other, it's affecting all 105,000 citizens.
When we go out into the field, out into the streets to help our neighbors, it doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel heroic. We oftentimes describe firefighters as not being heroes for what they do, but being heroes for what they're willing to do.
Every single person on this fire department is willing to risk something to save that life.
To anyone that's watching this, when you see a firefighter, please acknowledge them, thank them.
Every day I pin this badge on and honored to be a part of this fire department in this city.